to like and subscribe to Coach Cruise because he uses me and Cookie all the time, and it's gonna get your face out there.
Yeah,
so you
that's
need to
true.
Say,
hello everyone, I'm Mamacita at Sea. Remember, we're watching Coach Cruise. Like and subscribe.
All right, love it.
that are on their very first cruise and they don't truly understand what a cruise director does, or maybe you've got curiosities about how the ship runs. I'm going to do my very best to be as open as I possibly can, and if I don't know the answer to your question, I'll apologize, and then we've got an option. I can move on, or I can just make something up. That's up to you. If you would like to ask a question, we've got Marcella, Mamacita from the Fun Squad out here. Just pop a hand in the air, she'll come over to you, and we can start the fun. Where are we going? Right over here, front row. Hi, what's your name?
Denise.
Denise, where are you from, Denise?
I'm from outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, I had my first ever Thanksgiving in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Willow Grove to be exact.
Okay, well now, the balance is off here. I'm asking you the questions when really you should be asking
Nothing
me.
to do with cruising, but my son lives in the UK in the northwestern part, but it's a little town called Chorley.
Chorley.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know Chorley.
He married a girl that came to America on a job training thing with a camp, like an exchange thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he was out one night at a bar and he heard her talk and he was like, I gotta meet that girl. I love her accent. So they were engaged the following year, and now they have 3 children. They just had their 3rd baby in November.
That's amazing.
So he loves it there.
Chorley,
Yeah.
of all of the places in the world, Chorley.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So I was there for Thanksgiving, and I love the Christmas markets.
I'm glad. You're welcome anytime. Thank you so much, Denise. Do we have any questions? Oh.
Hi, I have a quick question about the process. Is it an audition process to be a cruise director? Because I'm just imagining a pageant where they're asking you questions how you would answer to tell how funny you are. You know when they do those what would you do if you won $1 million? And these girls are like, I donated to blah blah blah. I'm like, oh. Is that how it is to be a cruise director?
Kind of. You're not like a million miles away from what happened in reality. So a lot of people that work their way into this position, they come through the Fun Squad or a shipboard entertainment team. Mostly because living on a cruise ship is very different to living on land. And while you could have managerial and entertainment credentials to back your application, working and thriving on a cruise ship is something very different. So a lot of people work their way into this role. I started out as a cast member, singing and dancing to a very average standard for a different cruise line. Before I moved to become a cruise director with them, I applied to Carnival as a cruise director because I'd already had shipboard experience. And the first round of that was a kind of faceless video interview on a website called HireView. It's a platform where questions come up on the screen. You have about 30 seconds to prepare, and then you have to record your answer. And some of the questions were a little bit like that, like a picture popped up of a beach, and it said, this is a shore excursion. How would you sell this experience to guests and recommend it? Next, you've got a watermelon, an elastic band, and a plastic spoon. What game are you going to play? Joking, what's your favorite game to play? And you'd read it, and you have to prepare in 30 seconds and get ready and be so they're testing your spontaneity and your sense of fun. It asked us to tell a joke. Mine was awful, but I'll share it with you because maybe it's what got me the job. 2 monkeys get in a bath. One of them puts his foot in, looks at the other and goes, oh, oh, oh. The other monkey says, well, put some cold water in. You're welcome. Dad jokes for the win. Yeah, that's why I'm a cruise director, not a comedian. But I truly believe getting this job is about being genuine, right? Being a real person and having a sense of fun. Being able to connect with people of all different generations and all different walks of life is vital. A sense of fairness and equality is vital as well. Everyone deserves fun. It shouldn't matter who you are or where you're from. That should be irrelevant. If you're here, You're here for fun, and you're welcome in this house. Yeah. And world peace. You're welcome. You're welcome. I just had to call back to your pageant. Where are we going? Where are we? Oh, wait a minute. Hi.
Hi, I'm Danica from Atlanta.
Hi, Danica from Atlanta.
Hi, I just wanted to know what the procedure is for a man overboard and if you've ever experienced a man overboard.
Sadly, I have. I have experienced a man overboard, and I've felt myself very lucky that I've never had to deal with it until the day I did. Ships are equipped now with man overboard cameras and sensors, so if something goes overboard, the cameras detect it. Boom! The team on the bridge are notified that something, because it's not always someone, something has gone overboard. They review the footage, they take back the tapes and they check if it's confirmed. There's a signal and an alarm that's sounded, an announcement that's made, the crew are alerted. If a guest sees it before a crew member, you're instructed on that very first day in the safety briefing that I do, that should you see anyone go overboard, you need to shout, man overboard, or inform the nearest crew member, and dial 911 on the ship's phone, and you let the team know. It's important for us to know which side of the ship a person goes overboard, because there's a maneuver that the ship does to ensure that the person is safe in the water, because if we turn the wrong way, they call it the wake, you know, all of the water that gets stirred up, and could wash the person under the water. So they have to turn the ship in a certain direction, and we return to the location where they were reported or where it was detected, and we begin a search. The local authorities are notified, the Coast Guard are notified, our Fleet Operations Center are notified, and we start searching. Usually the Coast Guard will come out with boats and helicopters, and they'll start searching. Any vessels in the vicinity of that incident would also be obligated to join in with the search as well. And we will try our best to find that person. But it's not easy. I know sometimes you can look off the ship and look at the water and think, oh look, it's not that far. It's a long way down, and you would be just like a grain of sand out there. To anyone that has looked over the edge of the ship, if you're having a rough time, if you're going through anything right now, let me tell you with my hand on my heart, it's not worth it. I watched a documentary on YouTube about people that jump off the Sydney Harbour Bridge in Australia, and the people that survive, all of them say that they regret it. They regret doing it. Don't do it. Talk to someone. Let someone know. I promise you the world is a better place with you in it. But we do have a procedure in place. Now, it's a mixed outcome, despite the best efforts of everybody to find the person that goes overboard, and it's a mixed outcome, sadly. It's really sad. It's really sad. And as a cruise director, I'm responsible for leading everyone in fun, right? We're here for a great time. I'm the voice of safety and any important announcements, so it's my voice explaining what's going on to so many people, thousands of people that are here for a good time, and they hear that noise, that announcement, that message, and it's going to dampen people's spirits, right? It's really tough. I think about that person, I think about their family, their loved ones. So if you're out there and you're having a tough time right now, just know it gets better. Life gets better. I've had tough times. I'm pretty sure there are people in this room that have had tough times. Push through. Hold on. Hold on. You might not be able to see it, so let me tell you, it gets better. Really, really, really. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Marcella.
Bob from Richmond, Virginia.
Hi, Bob.
We've had the opportunity to be on many of the Carnival ships.
Yes.
And of course, the cruise director is one of the main crew member we always get to know. Have you worked with others, cruise directors on Carnival? And if so, do you have a favorite or one that you would recommend to all of us?
Wow. Wow. You knew I was recording this and they're going to see it, Bob. Thanks. So I joined this company as a cruise director. Sometimes people ask me who I trained under, which former cruise director did I learn from, and I've got to be honest with you, I didn't. I came to the company as a ready-made cruise director, but I have had the privilege of working with different cruise directors when we go through the process of handing over a ship. It's anything from 1 week to 3 weeks that we'll share time on the ship together. And I've got a lot of great friends in this company that are cruise directors from doing just that. I've also, in recent years, had cruise directors come to visit my ships to not necessarily train. I think that's a little egotistical to think that I could train somebody who already holds the same position as me, but to familiarize them with the vessels that I'm working on, or the practices or events that we have on the ship that I'm working on. I spent a lot of time working with Chris Williams, the Flying Scotsman, but he's no longer a cruise director full-time with us. But he's a great guy, a good friend, and was an incredible cruise director. But recently he was promoted to be Fleet Cruise Director, which is like a traveling supervisory position. Cookie, Jonathan Adams, awesome cruise director, but he recently retired. I worked with Kendall Fire. She's the flagship cruise director on the Jubilee at the moment. Awesome woman, incredible cruise director. So I'd say grab a cruise with Kendall. She's great. She's really good. Her fiance Joey is hilarious. Andy Mercer, a really funny guy. Cruise directors in the current roster of cruise directors, I've had a lot of them as Fun Squad team members on my team, and it would be rude for me not to mention absolutely every single one of them. So I mean, Gabe, Tyler, Lie, Marcella, who's running around with a microphone, was just on the Carnival Panorama as acting cruise director for a week over there, stepping into coverage position. So it's not going to be long before she's added to the list of full-time cruise directors. I also worked with Jake Miller, Lawrence West, Savannah, Martin Pitts. My word, I think I've got more cruise directors in the current roster that were a part of my fun squads that weren't at this point. And last night I went through with our entertainment director the cruise director schedule of all of the cruise directors, and I worked out that there's only 3 cruise directors that have been in the job longer than me right now in the company. I'm basically granddad. There's Felipe Couto, Dustin Gabriel, and by just a couple of months, Frankie Patera, Frank the Tank. Frankie and I joined just around the same time, like there was a couple of months in it. But Dustin and Felipe have been in the company longer than me, and other than that, I'm like the 4th longest serving cruise director. I think they're all brilliant for different reasons. I met them all at our cruise director conference, and starting tomorrow, I'm going to be working with Louis Clare. Louis is a sensational cruise director who recently joined the company. He's making waves, such a brilliant reputation already. We're going to be handing over this ship over the next 2 weeks. I'll leave January the 21st. Louis will be in charge, and then I come back March the 10th. Then he's going to go to Jubilee, the flagship, so you know he's good. So I'd say get a cruise with any of them. They're all great. I can't choose, and that's how you stay out of trouble. Thanks, Bob.
Hi, Catherine from Orlando.
Hi, Catherine.
So we've been very fortunate to have been on the Mardi Gras when you were a cruise director there. So we followed you for quite some time now. And so we know you got engaged this past year.
I did.
So if you are getting married this year, when are you getting married?
It's next year. But it's really exciting to be able to call it next year now. Because last year I was like, 2025, but now it's next year, blink and I'm going to be married. The ballpark sort of date is summer. And for people from England, summer is like 1 week in July. But yeah, next year, around the summertime. For those of you that are like, he's engaged. Geraldine, my fiance, she's currently working on the Carnival Sunrise. And yes, I said she. Shouldn't me that funny. She's working on the Carnival Sunrise, and with us both working with the company, 2024 is pretty busy for us, and I think we should choose the date that we want rather than choosing a date that's convenient around work. So that's why we've said 2025, somewhere around the summer. You're all invited, so keep summer free, and we'll see you there. No, and it's going to be in England, and it's going to be a relatively small wedding, I think. Just friends and family, close friends, because most of our friends, they work on cruise ships, and they're going to be busy, and they're from all around the world, and it's a long way to expect people to travel just for a day that really, if we're honest, it's really important for us, but for everyone else, it doesn't quite carry the same importance. So I did ask Geraldine, though, I said, would she mind if we maybe find a way to live stream or video the wedding, because I do connect with a lot of people that really are invested in this miniature soap opera that is my life. They're amazed that I managed to find someone to take me in the first place, and they just want to see if she actually goes through with it. But Geraldine said she would be open to maybe live streaming the wedding, but I mean, that's far more technical than I know how to do. So we'll see if we can make it happen. And if we do, I'll put it on my Facebook page. I've got a cruise director Facebook page, Lee, your cruise director, and I'd love you to follow if you don't already. I'm also on YouTube and Instagram. But yeah, I think it'd be really cool, really cool. So summer 2025. Right. Oh, here we go.
Hey, this is Coach Cruz from Chicago.
Hi, Coach.
Hey, so this one might have the same answer, but it's from different perspectives. So first, what do you think cruisers see as your biggest strength? And then the same question from family and friends, the same question from corporate. So those three entities, do they all see your best strengths the same? And then finally, yourself, what do you see as your best strength as a cruise director?
Wow. Okay. Well, I think I'll work in reverse. I think my strength is a certain level of relatability. I think I'm just a normal guy. There are some people out there that are insanely talented, like Chris Williams. He could sing everything from rock to opera. He's like a superstar, right? And I think people look to him with kind of like a celebrity status, being like, oh wow, he's like so talented. But I'm just like this averagely talented, like normal guy. I think I'm just real, like the everyman cruise director with a different accent, but I'm just out there, right? I'm not like Matt Mitchum, a former cruise director for us, who was like almost 6 foot something, Adonis with abs, and was in Men's Health magazine. Don't laugh because you think about me in Men's Health magazine. I could be the before picture. But I do think that there's a certain sort of like relatability there. Corporate, I'm a goody-goody, I'm a rule follower. They ask us to do something a certain way and I'll do it. I'll color within the lines, I'll, stay in my lane. Some of our cruise directors out there are a little notorious for being, and I say it affectionately, maybe a little bit naughty because they're super creative. So we're told to do one thing and they're like, oh, I can make that even better. And once upon a time, cruise directors could do that, but this company has grown so much that a lot of our entertainment offerings, they have to be controlled. Because we want to give you a similar experience. When you book a Carnival cruise, we want to give you what you expect. When you come on a Carnival cruise, you should be able to know we're going to have an awesome 80s party, and you're going to get dressed up in your rock and glow outfit, and we'll see you up there. And Deal or No Deal is going to be hosted in a certain way, and the rules don't change from ship to ship to ship, and there's a certain familiarity there, right? And I am that kind of like halo polishing little goody-goody that follows the rules. And I think that's probably one of my greatest strengths. That or the coaching and developing of Fun Squad team members. I've got a brilliant roster of Fun Squad hosts that are climbing the ranks and that have been promoted recently. So maybe that's it. Family, I think my mom would say my strongest strength, my strongest strength, that's how that works, is patience. I think my mom sees me as being incredibly patient in the face of challenges or things that have happened in my life. This isn't a therapy session, so I'll spare you it. But I think my mom sees me as being incredibly patient. And then for our cruisers, obviously, the strength is my biceps. No, maybe my fake teeth. People write on the internet all the time, oh, you've got a nice smile. And to some of them, not all of them, I write back, it cost a fortune. It did. They're not real. You knew that. But yeah, I think I covered it. Did I answer all your questions?
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you so much. That was a deep and meaningful one right there. Hi, next question.
Hi, Roseanne from Fort Lauderdale.
Hi, Roseanne.
I've been since you with Mardi Gras, and I remember in spring break we had to stop 2 times because there were there was rafts on the
Rafts,
sea.
yeah.
What is the most brave, like the most shocking one you've ever seen for life savings because of those situations?
The most shocking thing I've seen, and the lives were already saved, but on the Carnival Sunshine when I was working there, we actually cruised past a yacht that had to be abandoned in bad weather. The people were saved not by us, they were already rescued, but the yacht was sinking. And we went past it just as the moment that the stern, the back end of the yacht went under. I was like, you don't see that, that's like, oh my. And I just looked at it and I thought, wow, I'm glad I didn't pay for that. Because they're not cheap. Wow, but the people have been saved. And for me, when it comes to rescues of life at sea, I have been a part of them. You've been on board when we've done it. And we do have a duty of care and obligation to any other people at sea. And if there's a raft or a vessel in distress, we have to respond. We do often come across migrant rafts full of people that are looking to flee a country wherever they are and to start a new life somewhere. And the risks that these people take, it never fails to shock me. Days at end at sea, in a little raft, often handmade, with a limited supply of food and water, exposed to the elements, and the sea air, the salt, causes dehydration, and it can blister your skin. That is shocking every single time. It doesn't matter if there's 3 people, 23 people squeezed into a raft. The fact that people feel so desperate to escape the life that they're leading is always shocking to me. And I feel so proud of our captain and the officers and the safety officer and the crew members that help rescue these people from peril, right? Without ours in that moment. And call it fate, call it destiny, call it divine intervention, whatever it is that causes us to cross paths, I'm so grateful for, because without us, those people, well, you don't know what could happen to them. So yeah, I think when kids are on the rafts as well, that's the most shocking. The fact that a parent would make the decision to risk not only their life, but their child's life, to find a better life is always shocking. Marcella, where are we now? In the middle.
Hi, my name is Camille from Los Angeles.
Oh my word, LA, you've come a long way. It must have took you ages to walk.
And my question is, do you ever sleep? And if so, what's your sleep schedule?
Oh my word, well, I can confirm, yes, I do sleep. And it's one of my favorite things to do in life. I think as a teenager, I could maybe clock like a 13-hour sleep. I basically hibernate. This job doesn't let me do that, unfortunately. But I do get a solid six hours on average, I'd say. My sleep schedule varies on what day of the cruise it is. So tomorrow, with it being debarkation morning, debarkation for the Fun Squad and I, we start preparing at around 5:45 a.m., which means I wake up at 5:44 a.m. Usually around 5:30, if I'm honest with you, the joys of being a man is that I can roll out of bed, rub the pillow lines off my face, put a bit of water through my hair, and I'm good. So I'll get up around 5:30-ish. We'll work through demarcation, and then in the afternoon, I nap. I take a nap. 45 minutes, an hour, sometimes if I'm lucky, an hour and a half. Hello. And then I'll start again with the welcome aboard process and all of the safety briefing, the sail away party, the welcome aboard show, walking around, seeing people on the open decks. And then on that day, I'll normally get to bed around midnight. That's my earliest night that I get to bed. Then when it's a sea day, typically work starts around 9:30, so I'll be awake at 8:59 and make my announcements. If I can find time in the afternoon, I'll squeeze a nap. Now, I've developed this skill that I can fall asleep, less than 5 minutes. And it's weird, I lay face down. I was recently gifted an eye mask. Those like sleep masks. It's changed my life. I feel incredible after a nap with one of those things on. If you've always looked at people and thought, why are they wearing one of them? Try it. I'm not even kidding you, changed my life. So I'll take a nap, whether it's 5, 15, 25 minutes, I'll be out, wake up. Sometimes I sleep in my clothes and my name tag because it's quicker. I'm not even joking. And then the evenings, they tend to run quite late on board. We have parties that start at like 10:45, comedy shows that start at 11:30, and I have paperwork to do. And normally I shirk that responsibility until late at night. Mostly because I'm quite easily distracted, and if the opportunity is there to have fun or meet people and chat, I'll do it. So I have to wait until everyone's gone to bed and I've got no one to talk to before I can start my paperwork. So I typically go to bed around 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I'll sleep right through until, if it's a port day, if we get into port at 7:15, I'll be awake at around 6:45, 6:50 to get ready to make the announcement to say, hey, we're in port, don't forget your sailing sign card. It stopped. Oh my word, let me just very discreetly restart my camera.
Okay, let me tell you do that. Who was number 7? Number 7. The kid.
There we go.
Thank you.
Proceed. So I sleep until around 6:45, 6:50, get up, make that announcement, tell you that we're in port, and then usually I go straight back to sleep because I can. So I sleep in pockets of time, at least 6 hours. I think sleep is so important, and the more I learn about business and being a good leader, one of the biggest things I can share with you, if there's any managers or aspiring leaders out there, sleep. If you're tired, you're not going to be focused, you're not going to see what you need to see, and also you're not going to have the patience that you need. We all get a bit grumpy if we're tired, right? And your teams deserve you at your very, very best. You have to look after yourself. Sleep is vital. Also for recovery and re-energizing your body and looking after yourself. Sleep's so important, so yeah. Thank you for the question. People do sometimes wonder if we, or when we sleep. The honest answer is January 21st. Hi friends.
Hi.
What's your name?
Jaden.
Jaden, where you from?
Texas.
Oh, we're from Texas, yeehaw. That's where they say that, I've been. Jaden, what's your question, my friend?
My question is, what's your most favorite thing to host?
My favorite thing to host? That's the hardest question anyone could ask me, Jaden. I love our parties, right? I love our parties. But for the longest time, it was the love and marriage show. Because it requires me to be spontaneous and think on the spot. And I think, well, people tell me that I'm quite witty, right? Quite quick and sharp. Sometimes that gets me in trouble, but I take the compliment and I have so much fun playing that game. But recently, we got a new game show. A game show that I grew up watching with my family in England. A game show that I enjoy watching on the internet. Family Feud. Family Feud is like a dream come true because I can pretend, and just in case you don't realize I do this, I just pretend I'm on TV. I pretend I'm Steve Harvey. I can't grow a mustache. But when I'm hosting Family Feud and looking at you, just know in my mind, I've got a mustache. It's a spontaneous game. You never know what the contestants are going to say. It's super fun and everyone knows the format of the game. And I think familiarity allows people to really relax in and enjoy the show. I love Family Feud. Second place, the Love and Marriage show. I love the 80s rock and roll party. Dr. Seuss, our story time. If you missed it, don't miss it on your next cruise. I love reading our Dr. Seuss stories to the kids. And I've got to give a shout out to the military appreciation event. It's a really important event, especially to the military families on board. If you didn't attend this cruise, go to it on your next cruise. It's open to everybody. You don't have to have been in the military to attend it. And it means so much to see the room full to those that have served. Yeah, they're my favorite events. I couldn't choose just one, I'm sorry. I'm greedy. Okay, we've got like 5 minutes. Do we have any more questions?
I have my number.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Tammy from Texas.
Tammy from Texas.
And I want to know if you can drive one of the lifeboats on the side.
Okay, can or should? I have.
You have?
No, I have, but I don't, in the event of an emergency, I don't. I'm a part of a group of crew members called the containment team. Most of you are probably aware, or you've heard the term, that the captain goes down with the ship. Like the captain is the last person off the ship. He's got a responsibility to make sure every single life is saved before he gets off the ship himself. What they don't say is, captain and cruise director. But I'm in that group of people. I'm in the group, the last group of this ship. So in the event of an emergency, I'm not the person that's going to be driving your lifeboat. But have I? I don't know if I have to edit this out of the video. I've driven one. I was in Australia and I had such a really cool captain that and maybe some of you have cruised where we have to use the lifeboats as water shuttles to take guests ashore in the ports that don't have like a pier or they're too shallow for the ship to get in. So we were doing our water shuttle operation in Australia and Captain Francesco Lafauci, great captain, he would come out and help the team water shuttle the guests ashore. How cool to have the captain drive your watery Uber to take you ashore. Well, we were on our way back to the ship, and he was taking us back. He wouldn't let me do it again, so. But he turned around to me and he's like, Lee, do you want to drive? And I was like, and he goes, no, do you want to drive? And maybe some of you, when you were a kid growing up, like your parents might have let you hold the steering wheel of the car when you were on your private land. Well, I didn't have to sit on his lap, but he did let me drive the water shuttle, which was so cool. But the crew that drive those go through an extensive training course of how to operate them. And not just that, but about survival at sea, because if they're driving your lifeboat, they need to know how to look after you in the event that they're the responsible people. So they do a survival at sea training course. But it's really fun. It's really fun. And they practice often. Hi.
Hi. I kind of had a two-parter, but you touched on one of the questions. I just
Ask it anyway.
how this ship is so coordinated. Everything is just fluid.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've noticed. How do you keep that straight? And my other question is, everywhere we go, especially the waiters, so happy.
Yeah.
How is everybody staying so happy, especially with like boat hopping?
Yeah. I can tell you, I can answer both of those. Drugs. No, I'm joking. Caffeine, sugar, no. Glucose, fructose, no. We love what we do. If I'm honest with you, and I know it from being a part of this crew for 7 years. We love it. It's the one thing we all have in common, regardless of our role or responsibility on the ship. There's a deep sense of satisfaction sharing your vacation with you. And it grows when you realize that you play a part in that, and the memories that you make, we help facilitate it, or we look after you so you don't have to look after yourself. This is an incredibly rewarding feeling from doing this job. Also your gratitude. The guests often are so kind to our crew. The guests that cruise a lot, sometimes people bring like treats or gifts to crew members that they've cruised with before, and they say thank you, you know, for being a part of their life. They adopt us, hello, as family members, right? Unofficial family members, and it's really special. That's how the crew keep going. The coordination, practice, practice, practice. We've been doing this for over 50 years. The ships have got bigger and bigger, and as the ships have got bigger, we've learned as we go along. But this is a finely tuned machine at this point. 7 days a week, we do this cruise on this ship. 7 days a week, 7 days a week, 7 days a week. Sometimes we go to different ports, but the routine remains fairly solid. So the follow-up questions that people often ask is, if you do the same thing every single week, how do you stay fresh? How do you keep enjoying it? Calling back to your second question. It's you, again. The guests are the variable. Because every week we do the same thing, but we do it with different people. You ask different questions. We face different challenges. You like different things. One week we have like a wild party crowd that just want the deck parties and events like that. High energy. Wow! The next week, people don't necessarily want to come and dance at the parties, but they love the shows. Standing ovations every night. And we have to tailor and tweak what we do to try and play to that vibe. We can't change the program. If people turn up and they're like, we really like Sudoku, we can't just do like Sudoku week. But we can try our best to trim our sails. So if people really like trivia and competition, some of our deck parties maybe feature a little more competitive elements like sing-offs or battles of volume or dance battles. Or maybe we've got guests that just want to like let loose this cruise, like New Year's, everyone just having a good time, and you can like manage your own fun. So a lot of our parties this week have just been like, hey, go for it, like, oh, do you know this one? Sing, yay! This side, put your hands in the air, but it's been pretty like freestyling, and we haven't had to like really kind of like not force the fun, but coordinate that and get buy-in through competition. But there is a lot of like, I guess like theory or method behind opening up a group of people to share a great time together. But it's up to you, and every week is a little different. And that's why I love it, because we never know who's going to get on. I mean, the booking team know who are getting on. It's not like a surprise, but we never know what energies we're going to get and see each week. And it's really cool. It is really cool. Thank you for that question. Okay, I'll have to be quick with the next couple of answers. Let's go.
Jessica from Wyoming.
Hi, Jessica.
My question is, how do you go about getting a job on a cruise ship, and do you have to further your education?
That's a great question. I think education is so important because you never know what life is going to throw at you. Not too long ago, everyone that worked on a cruise ship had to go home, and we didn't know if we could come back, right? Education at that point, pivotal. To get a job on a ship, we have a lot of entry-level positions that don't require like super advanced qualifications. And I would recommend anybody get those qualifications, right? Your general education. But when it comes to degrees and stuff, there are positions you can get on board that don't require a degree, but you do have to know that you're going to be working real hard to establish yourself. There is so many transferable skills from a formal education that will help you in this environment, regardless of your field of study. You could be a scientist, and I worked with a guy, one of my favorite Fun Squad team members was educated as a chemist. Tennessee Tyler was a chemist, and he turned around and he was like, I want to have fun. So he joined the Fun Squad. But that guy, through his formal education, he could help coordinate and organize and plan because of the requirements of his course of study, right? So I would encourage anybody that wants to work on a cruise ship to get an education to their appropriate level, whatever that is, right? Then when you come and work on board, you work your way up. How do you get a job on a cruise ship? You can apply to Carnival directly. If it's a job in the entertainment department, carnivalentertainment.com is the website that you can find all of the jobs in the entertainment department. carnivalentertainment.com. For the other positions on board, like maybe you want to work on guest services, or maybe you're an electrician, a plumber, an engineer, jobs.carnival.com. cruisedirect.com, and all of our open positions are listed. There are also agencies out there that can help you get a job on a cruise ship, not just for Carnival, but any cruise ship. And one of the ones that I know in America are called Cast Away. Cast, like to get cast in a show, C-A-S-T dash A dash way, like a way to be cast, cast away. And you'll find them online, and they can help you prepare for job applications with positions on cruise ships. There's a lot of agencies out there, that's just the one off the top of my head, and I'm not affiliated or in touch with them at all. So, you know, hashtag not sponsored. You know, that kind of stuff. Right.
Stephanie from Indiana.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi. I just wanted to know, what is the living situations for the crew member? Like, what does it kind of look like? And then how long do you have to be a worker? Is there like, the shortest is a week, and then the longest could be a year? And do you have to have like multiple different positions?
Great questions. And this is going to have to be the last question because we've got bingo coming up, and I'm really sorry to anyone that didn't get a chance to ask it. If you've got questions that you would like to ask, you can find me around the ship or shoot them over on my Facebook page or Instagram, and I'll try to get to you, okay? The living situation on board. A lot of the crew share a cabin between two people with bunk beds. There's a chair, a desk, a phone, a TV, Wi-Fi connection, a reading light, USB charging sockets, and a bathroom shared between those two people with a toilet, sink, shower, a vanity, mirror, everything that you need. As you get more responsible on board, your accommodation gets a little more comfortable. It's one of the perks of the job. So you could get your own accommodation, single occupancy. It's really funny. As soon as a crew member achieves that level of comfort that they get a cabin to themselves, many of them try to share it. It's weird, that. And then as you climb the ranks of seniority, the captain, of course, has a very comfortable living arrangement, like a suite with multiple rooms, because he's the captain, right? Your next question was about minimum contract length. Most of the crew work 6 months as a base contract length. The captain does 3 months, super responsible. A lot of his officers of the watch do 3 months. I do 4. The nature of my job is go, 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 and I'm responsible for people, and you need me at my best, right? Can you imagine me at 10 months in? Yay! Don't stop believing, people! No. Just a small town girl, like you need me at my very best, and the company have found that for a cruise director, about 4 months is just enough. A lot of the crew work from 6 to anything from 8 to 10 months at a time. There's no option to just do a week here, a week there, unless you're a comedian. The comedians join us for like half a cruise, and sometimes then they fly to another ship or home, or sometimes they join us for half a cruise, then they stay on for the first half of the next cruise, then they fly off and they go somewhere else. The only other people out there, we do have shipboard supervisors that will go from ship to ship to ship to ship, and occasional guest entertainers. So if the ship's doing an unusual itinerary, where they don't have enough nights of entertainment in our regular program, or there's something happening technically with the ship that we're unable to perform on the shows, they will sometimes bring on guest entertainers, jugglers, musicians, variety acts, if you will, singers, to supplement our entertainment program. Did you ask something else? I think you asked another question. Multiple positions. Most of us don't. The majority of the crew have one position that we work, but within that position there are various responsibilities. We all have a safety responsibility, an emergency responsibility. Some of the crew pick up side jobs, like they'll help out the art team move the paintings around. A lot of our musicians do that, but their job is musician. They choose to help out the art department or the Carnival Insider. But our crew normally have one job that comes with a safety responsibility as well. Thank you so much for asking your question. Thank you for everyone that asked questions. Can we have a round of applause for everyone that asked questions? Also, a huge round of applause to Marcela Mamacita. Yeah. She's been doing all of the hard work running around with a microphone. Thank you for a great week. Thank you for a great cruise. If I don't see you, because this is a big ship, Have a safe journey home, and I wish you the very best for 2024. Do such an awesome job.
Oh, sure.
And secondly, and this one is huge, like and subscribe. Ring that notification bell so you know when this man is posting more videos.
I appreciate that you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Lee.
I just can't get away from a good time.